everyone. Welcome to the table. Welcome to the Grown Folks Table. We are so excited to have you pull up to the table tonight. Americans are feeling a little bit better about traveling, according to the most recent study with the destination analyst. And so, ladies, tell me, are you guys doing any traveling? What's on your mind? Are you having a little COVID fatigue? Are you ready to get out to the beaches? Y'all drop something in the chat if you're watching and let us know how you feel about traveling today.
Well, my body ain't ready, but I'm ready. Had I been doing what Miss Vicky been doing, I'd be ready body. But my mind is ready. Now,
Yes.
but I have a little apprehension. You know, that's I'm just a little nervous, you know, and I know some of you all have been out there. So help me say, Joyce, get out there, because right now, mentally, I am ready. If I could put my vacation in and pack my bag, I will be out of here tomorrow. But I'm still just a little bit of I'm still very apprehensive, especially after seeing some of the tapes and the film and the news stories about Miami and all them. I'm like, look at them, you know. So I'm like, you know what? I can't go do that. So yeah, I'm ready, but I'm very apprehensive.
Well, I think no, go ahead, Vicky. I'll wait.
Well, we took the plunge, Joyce, and we got our 2 vaccines over a month ago, and we headed out to Hilton Head and then circled back to Tybee Island. Now, I tell you, we stayed, the bulk of our time was in Hilton Head, and I was shocked at the liberty expressed by people without masks. I really was. And we had our masks because we're ready, right? But then you're among people that make you feel like aliens because like maybe you're not supposed to have a mask on. And it was just interesting. Children, it was like, as you mentioned earlier, Miami Beach in full force. I'm just telling you, I know that people are frustrated and ready for a break because I felt that. I really felt I need something. But I didn't realize, and you know, our governor just lifted the mandate. And so driving through Georgia, people have just thrown caution to the wind. So sister girl, all I can say is we decided we were going. We came back, we doubled up on our black seed oil, elderberry syrup, oregano oil. We are doing it all triple and double time and believe in the Lord to help us. we had a wonderful time.
Vicky, I need you to send me a list of all of those oils, everything that you took in getting your body ready and your immune system pumped up for the trip. What about you, DeLo? Tell us, are you ready to hit the streets? Did you
Well, you know, I did. It was spring break, and you know, my daughter's one of those spontaneous people. She is the one who get me out, make me go. She'll have my airfare. I can't say no to anything because everything is planned. She's a planner. She has everything prepared. Mother wants you to go. Father didn't want to go, but baby, I don't turn down trips. But it's been 14 months since I traveled because when I think about last year, January, when I was leaving, going on a cruise, and when I stepped off the cruise February 8th, then I started hearing about COVID. Then it seemed like everything shut down. So this is my first trip since COVID, but I would tell you, I was out in Vegas for 6 days. Now, I would say majority of the people wore the mask because you had to wear your mask inside and out. But the crazy thing for me at the pool, they want you to have the mask on when you were not in the pool, but you needed the mask. No, outside the pool, you needed on the mask, but in the pool, you didn't. With all the people, that was the craziest thing. And but I thought in the airport, my experience, what was different this time around than last time was checking your own bags in. You know, your bags are heavy because we carry everything, right? We don't want to leave. I have a bag for shoes, and I had to lift that bag and put it up on the well because they're not doing that for you anymore.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was new for me. I said, wow. I said, no tip. You know,
Now that's bougie travel right there.
no,
That's
I was like, you know, looking at. But when I think about Vegas, Vegas is a city where over 42 million people come through there. When you think about 2019 versus 19 million last year.
Yes.
And so it's beginning to increase now because their mandate and all their restrictions have been lowered. I would say the worst experience, I would think, trying to get on the elevators, because now on the elevators, people were definitely about that social distancing. That's the funny thing, but everything else, they're not thinking about it, which was crazy. I said, okay, in the elevator, they won't get on with you. They think, no, it's 4 people on, they won't get on. And so, but out in the casino and walking around and just think all the people, it was so many people, they all up on each other, but then you get in the hotel, I can't get on the elevator. So it took forever, like, to come down. I was on the 19th floor to come down because people don't want you to get on the elevator with them. You got to wait on one that can accommodate you all. So some instances we had to send the children on. We'll be down later. We'll see how we can get down. But I thought it was kind of fun. But a lot of people weren't thinking about social distancing anymore. They did wear the mask. I have to say, people wore the mask in Vegas outside, hot as it was. That part, and it being on the plane, I didn't like because you have to have the mask on. But my thinking is we have to have the mask on, but then you have a person in the middle. Now, I didn't have that problem because it was my daughter, my granddaughter, and I on the same row. But Cam, he was behind us. But you got people behind you, and all my flights were booked. They were full. But they want to keep the mask on, but you all booking people next to one another. I don't get that logic. For me, I just don't get that logic. But
glad you
George, don't be afraid. You just get out there and you try to be safe. Mm-hmm. Do what you can do. You know, I'm vaccinated, so I wasn't afraid of that. Anything, I really was not. The fear level, I think, has gone for me as far as being around people. That was not fearful. But I will tell you all, one crazy thing happened. People was texting me, and then we have a coalition sister out that way. She was telling me, "Oh, go to this place, Fremont." And we were fine till we go out there, and this homeless guy, he comes up without a mask on. And my daughter lit into him. Oh, she lit into him about this no mask. And then he'll pull it up, then pull it down and want to talk. And maybe I say, okay, now we're going to have to go Atlanta on you, brother, if you don't leave. If you don't leave. Because they know don't get me started. Not when it comes to my kids. When it comes to my kids.
That's right. Yes.
You messing with the wrong people now.
Uh-huh.
But I had to tell you all that was funny.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned about the plane ride, because that's very important. You know, I did go somewhere as well, but I got in the car, and so I'm thinking I'm a little apprehensive about the plane ride, just about what you mentioned about like how they're seating the passengers. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, do I need to get a first class ticket if I want to go somewhere? Are they seating people first class different? Because that really matters to me if I get on a plane or not. Now, mind you, my capacity to drive in any vehicle anywhere is 5 hours. If it's longer than 5 hours, I'm getting on a plane. You're not getting me to get anywhere. Go anywhere past 5 hours in the car, Tony Cash. Okay, that's just it. I'm not doing that.
Just make it plain for him, please.
Just make it plain. We're not going there. We got to get on a plane. So we did. We enjoyed ourselves. We hit the beach. And we got to go to the beach, hit some water. We got on a boat, did a boat ride. Now let me tell you about me and with the pool situation. Y'all know I'm crazy. We early morning people at the Cash residence. So I got them children up at 6:30 a.m. and I said, put on your swimming suits. Eat you a bowl of cereal. And we was the first ones. We had a private pool. I got them out there at 7 o'clock a.m. and my kids swam with no problem, no mask on around. You know, they had the big old pool to themselves, slides. I mean, they just did it because, you know, I'm apprehensive. There's not a we don't have a vaccination for the kids yet, you know.
Right.
So I'm just trying to keep them safe. And so, yes, I'm halfway with the vaccination. I received my first shot, but haven't received my second shot. And so I'm still mad. But those people were not wearing masks. And so that was awesome for me. A lot of the children that were there on the resort with us, there was no mask. The kids were not wearing masks at all. And so I'm like the people that you were talking about, DeLo, is on the elevator. You get on this elevator with us if you want to. I will get off. You know, you can't get, and then depending on my mood, I may say social distance, 3 people only. You know? So I get it, but there's a way to travel safely, and I think you just got to kind of figure out where you are in your comfort zone, because the kids needed it. They needed some sun. They needed to get out the house. So Joyce, we got in the car and we took a 5-hour drive, and that was it, you know. And we found us a beach and that didn't have a whole lot of people. It was a private beach, that type of thing. And so I think, you know, invest in that to at least get out the house. Now, Libya is our vacation person. Now, you go on all international waters. And so I know she can't wait to start traveling. Libya, are you ready to travel?
I already have 3 trips planned. And you know, I traveled during COVID. I went to Chateau Elan. I went to South Carolina. I went to North Carolina. This would be my first time going on a plane. So I have a trip that I'm planning to go to Nashville, and then I'm going to LA in the same week. And then I'm going for my birthday. I am going to Mexico. So I am definitely planning. It's get out time for me. I think that if you are a safe person and you're already a cautious person, you're a clean person. Come on, children of God. Some of us is nasty. Let's be clear. So, you know, this is COVID that helped a whole bunch of nasty people, though.
Amen.
Let me tell you that. Yes. So all y'all folk that didn't clean your house and your bathroom nasty and your car nasty, yeah, you don't start cleaning up your stuff now. So if you're a clean person already, I've already traveled and cleaned, you know, the hotel rooms before COVID.
See, I didn't do that before. But Libby, she told me that's what she did. I was like, Libby was going somewhere. She was staying in a hotel, and she said, "I'm taking all of my stuff." Well, I said, "You do?" And she was like, "Yeah, I take my stuff, my Lysol, my wipes," and so she was giving me the rundown. And so I did exactly. I went and found me some sprays and wipes, and I started feeling comfortable too, because Libby said she cleaned the hotel
because they got them travel size. So wherever you go, you can take all this stuff with you. And so I've been doing that anyway. So for me, the key for me in traveling, plane to hotel, whatever, is to understand the protocol of both places. You know, I only stay in a 4 to 5 star. There's nothing you can talk to me about to go below that. I'm never going to go below it. That's it. And it's really 5 star. I will spend the money for it. I'm comfortable with it because they have different protocol with cleaning and all of that, their reputation and everything, and they have high reviews. I am a TripAdvisor person. I'm a reviewer on TripAdvisor. I had people in the inbox say, "Look at this review, you wrote it." Yep, They call me the luxury expert on there. So I am a person that look at those reviews. I look at the travelers' photos. I don't look at the hotel photos. So I get an idea about the hotel and all of that. And even, I look at restaurants and things like that. Now, Delta is extending their middle seat block until May 1st. So they are extending the middle seat block. But I don't travel. When I book my flight, I pay for my seat. I don't let them choose my seat. I buy my seat. So if I'm going to be either first class or in comfort, I go ahead and buy my seat, and I'm only in the 2 row. So I'm never in the 3-row anyway. So it wouldn't matter for me whether, I travel alone most of the time. So I'm going to sit by somebody. So that's a given that's going to happen. I need to just make sure that I am covered with my mask and doing what I need to do. And when I get on an airplane, I plan to be double masked, because that's, you just need to kind of have your extra layer of protection on there. I don't have any apprehensions about getting in the pools. I don't have any of that, because it's chlorine and whatever in there going to die anyway. So I'm okay with that part of it. And I social distance in the pool. But here again, you stay at certain hotels, you don't have to worry about a whole bunch of other folk in the pool, because everybody's not willing to pay for certain kinds of hotels. For me, when I travel and go, say, for instance, to Mexico, I don't necessarily stay in all-inclusive all the time. And if I do, it's adults only for me, because I know I don't worry about kids in the pool. So there's a lot of different dynamics that you can look at when you're traveling. For those who are traveling as family, look at those hotels that are family oriented, but also they are at a certain start. Have they gotten the Diamond Award? There's a lot of things that you can look at in that regard. And it's very good to have a travel agent who is traveled. A lot of people want to be travel agents, but they ain't been nowhere. My travel agent, she's been all over the world, so she can give advice. My sister is planning her husband's 50th birthday party, which is next year, March. She's planning it now. They're going to Hawaii, using my travel agent, which is now her travel agent. So great trip plan. I think we're now getting back to that. Now, I do think we have to be careful with, our governor trying to open up, or other governors trying to open up too soon and loosen too many of the restrictions. I still think we need to have those in place, but I think it's time that those of us who are 50% vaccinated or double vaccinated, we know what we need to do anyway. That's why we're vaccinated. We're the vaccinated people because we've been doing the right thing. So I would say to people who are listening in and watching us tonight, if you have that apprehension for traveling, try to do small travel. Try to do something local, to get your anxiety to a certain level that you can be in a hotel. Do a staycation to see how it feels for you, and then that'll help you expand your travel palette to kind of go to the places. Now, those of us who are travel gurus, we going. So
you done.
We going. So
One thing I like, Libby is saying, and it's critical, is educate yourself. Libby does the homework. And now I think, given the times that we're living in, it's incumbent upon us. My daughter is a Yelp queen. My daughter looks at all reviews, so we call her about everything. Did you know about this? We're looking at Travel Advisor. And so we're educating ourselves at a level, I'm just telling you, we didn't do that before. And then, Libby, this is my first trip in probably forever, in a long time, that I took the Lysol. I took the bleach wipes. I took it all. And I felt so good. That remote control, I sprayed that thing down so good, because it carries so many germs, right? The light switches in the room. I felt so good. I sprayed the beds down. And so I think that it's incumbent upon us now to take charge of our environment, right? Control it a lot better, and move out, as she said, Joyce, cautiously, but do your homework and carry your stuff. Carry years
Have
ago,
it on you.
Listen, y'all, years ago, we used to carry the birth control. Now you got to carry.
Hey, hold on. Hey, there's a single woman on here. There's some single women listening.
So still carry that.
Be that covered in many ways.
But my best friend is celebrating her birthday June 1st, and she wants us to come to Hilton Head. So thank you for going and testing it out first, and that so I'll definitely be prepared. But I also want to do some international travel. I'm so ready for that as well, because my family and my husband and I have always done something internationally every year as well. But I mean, it's just been so much, and I know what I have to deal with when it comes to my physical health, and how I've had to protect myself throughout this whole pandemic. And I still have to do that now, but I don't want to continue to deprive myself of, a chance to go and get some sun and a little umbrella out of somebody's glass. So, I was just
a little my tie ain't gonna hurt nobody either.
All that, So when I saw you ladies traveling, I'm like, hey, somebody needs to tell me something. And now I do feel better, which I would have done those things anyway. I would have had my Lysol and all of those things because I do that.
Yeah.
But I do feel better that you all are saying that it's okay. Just protect yourself. So I feel better about it.
I'm not ready for the cruise ship yet, though, y'all. I don't think I can get on the cruise yet.
I can't do the
that.
cruise either.
No.
I just don't think I'm gonna think this. I don't care what vaccine out and how far we get with the numbers. I just don't see myself being in crowds the way I used to without a mask. People gonna be looking at me all crazy, but I'm still gonna have a mask. I'm gonna have a mask on in 2023.
What I understand about Vegas, and for those of you who go to Vegas know the number of people.
Yes.
But I was just amazed the people wore their masks.
Yes.
I can count on one hand the number of people I saw without a mask. Because you still had to, because it was so crowded, you're gonna be close in quarters with people. But and they still not, everything is not up 100% like the spa. I actually go there to go to Bellagio's, to go to the spa, or to the Wynn, or those are my favorites, because those ones I always stay, Venetian, those hotels, Plaza. But and I checked around even before I left, as we talk about research. We like to know everything we're going to do. My daughter liked to buy everything, all tickets before we go. She like you all's daughter. I just come along and just enjoy, baby. But she has everything planned. But I could not get a spa because the spas were not open.
Oh, wow.
Spas were not open. The nightlife was not open, because I love to go to shows.
Yeah, me too.
Those things were not open. So, I was really doing a kiddie thing all week. Some of the things for them were open, but I missed that. A lot of the restaurants, because the wait time for restaurants was long, because not all restaurants were open. Some were, but a good 50% of the restaurants, because we would go to different hotels just trying to get into a restaurant, because they like sit down. Those kids are bougie. They don't like, go up to the Subway or the McDonald's. No, they want an Italian restaurant. I guess, what you're accustomed to, what you like. And she likes to give them, because, she works so hard and gone so much. And she felt they deserved something in the house all week, because they are at home all day.
And the children are tired of sub sandwich anyway. I think if I wave a piece of a turkey and bread in front of the cash kids right now, they be looking at Mama, are you gonna put that in the skillet? I mean, or the air fryer or something. I think they just burnt out on homemade sandwiches at this point.
But see, I'm burnt out on the house. I'm burnt out on the house.
Yes.
Get out, Joyce. Get out.
Start with the staycation. Libby said, start with the staycation. Go to Chateau Elan or wherever you're living. Start with the stay. Well, matter of fact, Mother's Day is coming up, and I already got my staycation planned.
But even if you don't do that, there is still the Marriott Evergreen that's in the Stone Mountain area. That's really nice.
Another
so
one.
You can do that. There is also a Marriott brand hotel in Peachtree City area. That's really nice. And Peachtree City has a lot of nice restaurants. There's a place that's the Southern restaurant called Down South. So you can do that. And then if you're ready, just go ahead and get yourself 3.5 hours down the road to the Hilton Head.
Well, that's going to come up in June. So I am looking forward to that. Her birthday is June 1st. So I am looking forward to that.
That would be nice.
Yeah, but I wanted to stretch it out a little bit, but my first test will be Hilton Head.
Yeah.
And Vicky came back and said, "Well, nobody masked up there." And I'm like, "Come on!"
But as long as you're masked,
yeah.
So,
we're yours.
Yeah.
And then
so
I'll get my second shot, before we leave. So
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable just listening to you all because I know you all would, tell it like it is. And then just be and be prepared and make sure that I do the right thing. But I was feeling a little,
Listen,
beforehand.
We got to at some point get out of the nest.
Yeah.
In order for us to get back to some kind of living, we got to get out of the nest, and we just have to be cautious people that we always been, and we are protecting not only ourselves but everybody else when we are double vaxxed and when we are in our mask. And so if our neighbor does not have on a mask, then we just move a few little feet away from the neighbor. But you do not let this destroy your ability to be able to enjoy life. We only get one of them, and we gotta at some point we gotta come out of this whole seclusion of being in the house. Now that we do know there are more people being vaccinated out there, there are a large amount of hotels, if not all, they have a huge sign and policy that says masks are required.
Yeah. Yes.
And so, a lot of them have even on the door. When you go to the door, there's a label that says this room has been sanitized. You have to actually break the label to go in.
That's what I was.
Yeah, and then some of them have plastic bags over the remote control. So there's a lot of things that are being done to keep people, and they're closing common areas. So people are not allowed to congregate in the common areas, so you don't have to worry about that. So and then of course restaurants can only have a certain capacity. So truthfully, it is a great time to travel because there are still protocols in place per government. So I mean
things, but things that you enjoy doing, unfortunately still, are not as open as Dolores said, or not as open as they once were. And then you go in with these expectations of, and then well darn, it's not happening. So how do you deal with that, knowing that if you've been in that space before and you were able to do these kinds of things? I know when my sisters and I travel together, we love to hang out in the common area and talk and laugh and drink and meet people if they were worth meeting. But that takes some of the fun out of it for me.
It does, but you have to kind of create a different kind of fun, like we've been doing anyway. In our new or now normal, we've been doing different kinds of fun. And so I think you do it that way. And what it did for me is allowed me to look up different things to do. There are museums, there are all kinds of things that are in these places that I've been to Hills Head a number of times, but maybe I didn't go over to the museum. I've been to Charleston 100 times. Maybe I didn't go visit some of the historical spots. So it gives you the opportunity to do some other things. And if you look on the state page, if you're going, locally, they have all kinds of things that they encourage people to do as activities now. And a lot of them are more outdoors. So we may not be able to, in certain states, we may not be able to go to the spa. Like I know West is still like Nevada and California, they still have a whole bunch of restrictions because their numbers were very high. But there are other states where people are going to the spa and they're still doing things like that. But it's limited, like the spas may not be open the full time that they normally are. So I think you just have to research it and see. But there are a number of things that you can do, I think, in place of that. Now, with the common areas being, because I've been to a hotel recently and the common areas not being there, but say, for instance, I went when it was a lot cooler, that there still was ability at one hotel where I can go outside with the fireplace. And I was on a staycation in Alpharetta. So I was able to go sit out there and do it in that. Or if they didn't have that, they did have where you can probably meet up at a certain place with your group of people. So I think you just got to be creative. That's all. It's a different dynamic now.
Also,
I'm sorry.
Joyce, and this is for all of us, life as we knew it does not exist anymore. And so I look at it in this way. We have created some wonderful memories, like what you described with your sisters, wonderful memories.
Mm-hmm.
You hold those dear in your heart, okay? But now we're challenged to create something new. And as Libby said, making new discoveries, things that you've been to places many times and you never went there to certain places, because that's what I feel too. It's different. But I felt as long as I stayed home, something was being taken from me. And I'm just telling you, I felt so desperate for a getaway, Joyce, that Macon was starting to look good to me.
Macon.
That's how desperate I was. I was begging. I said, Macon is 72 miles.
Go to Macon.
But that water, the water was calling my name. The beach, the same. It's something medicinal for me. And so when we got there, we created a safe space, even though it was tons of people and tons of children and tons of dogs. we created a corner for us. And I just laid there and allowed the wind to just blow on me from the water. And it healed me. It just healed me, and it gave me something. I probably could cry about it because it was calling me. I needed a getaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Vicky, where is the swimsuit post? Okay.
Today.
Where is it now?
Let me find out.
You know, with all this beautification you're doing with that body now, that I'm so proud of, and please send me some of that. Where is the swimsuit post on the beach? I need to see it.
Well, hey there, if you're watching tonight and you're looking to travel, let us know where you're going. Drop a comment in the chat tonight. If we're saying something that is resonating with you, please don't forget to subscribe to all of our podcast channels. We'll be right back here on next Thursday. Let us know where you're traveling and make sure you like our page. Good night.
Get a good swimsuit, baby. Get a good swimsuit. Good night.
Good night.